Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's Michele Maher here again this morning. I'm here with Agata. Agata, could you give me, first of all, thank you so much for giving me your time to talk about pivoting with positivity. And if you can just let us all know a bit about you, who you are, and what you are all about.
So my name is Agata Snowska. I'm a makeup artist. This is like my third career. I switch every so often. I fell into makeup by accident in a time when I wasn't in a great spot. But I found the power of creativity and the power of beauty and the power of makeup and is just amazing. It gave me an amazing light. And as soon as you put, even if you're feeling really crappy, as soon as you put that red lipstick on, something in your head just completely flips, and you have a bit of more step in your life. So I focus on specifically on, most of my clientele is 40 plus and fabulous. That's my main clientele, because I feel like women in those years are mostly transitioning and moving into different spaces and looking to relearn some skills, find themselves again. And through the power of makeup, that's just one step in their journey. So I'm here to facilitate that part.
True. That is true. That's great, for sure. And so you were mentioning to me before we got on camera here that you were scheduled to be on the road right now, touring North America.
Yes, so my husband and I, after some time, we had decided so disclosures, we've been facing infertility for years. And so we decided to no longer have it define us and no longer have it be part of the thing. And someone asked me a very excellent question, which was, when will you start living? And so we said, well, I think we'll start living now. So, and then we found this amazing quote, which is how we live and how we do life, which is, if not now, then when? And the answer is now, right? If not,
right.
And so, so a year and a half ago, we were planning we'd started the process of planning how to live on the road and be remote. In my case, that was a challenge, but I made it work. I was going to make it work, and I have made it work to a certain extent. I have made it work. Let's just put it this way. Husband also made everything work, and so we were supposed to be on the Grand Canyon right now. We left December 1st. We were out for about 3 months. We came back to Canada for about 3 weeks while our RV was getting solar and other things like that. And on the day that we were supposed to be leaving at 3 p.m. to go down to a conference, because I was doing a workshop down for RVers about makeup and RVing, and overall it was a great summit to be at, and love to be part of that community. They're absolutely amazing. They're the best people to pivot. They pivot with positivity all the time. They're fantastic.
All right.
They just think about different things. They're just so outside the box thinkers. So we were that's the day we were supposed to be leaving, and everything got canceled. And that's when Ford it was like, the schools are closed. And then we're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? So big pivot there. I personally had some things that I had some clients booked and things booked that I was managing in between, that I still was going to be coming back to. The pivot was also, we are no longer going to be doing this trip that we had planned for a year and a half in this trailer that we are currently in. I'll show you. We are in my trailer. Not even kidding. And we are currently parked in gorgeous Milton, right by the 401. About 30 minutes from 427 and 401. So that's where we are. The views are great. We have mountains, maybe not.
hills, but yeah.
We have hills. I know it because I bike them with my bike. There's hills here for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you have definitely had to pivot quite a bit. Uh, as you said before, you're parked there, and you're lucky that you have a spot there. In the meantime, your house is rented.
Yes.
So you guys are in the trailer, and that's it. And you said you have 2 dogs as well in the trailer.
Yes, we do. So before we left, we rented at our house to an amazing family in Toronto. And yeah, we were going to be gone till at least December 1st, popping in and out into Canada a few times. And then as I also had some things booked, weddings and things like that. So I did have all of that.
Of course, all the weddings have been rescheduled. And the borders are closed, so you're not going anywhere.
No.
So now you have had to pivot your business. I guess you've gone through a lot of emotions since this whole thing started. I know for myself, the fear was there. Just everything happened so quickly, and just so much uncertainty around everything, the whole situation happening. As you were saying before we got on here, was it your brother lives in Singapore?
My brother-in-law lives in Singapore.
Your brother-in-law, yeah. And that he was already telling you, letting you know what the situation was like. But of course, like like the rest of us, we just thought it's over there.
Yeah.
That it's not necessary, it's an issue over in in Asia and in Europe.
Yeah.
Not North America, but of course now we see it is. So now we're now in our 4th week as well of this whole situation. It is for the when you look at it from a perspective of the schools being closed and it happening right before March break. Right. So you've been able to so in terms of pivoting your business, I know that a lot of people are, like in your case, hands-on. You cannot do anything hands-on. Live events, everything canceled. So what are you doing to service your clients right now? So that's what it's all about, is serving your clients.
Yeah. So right now, my focus is twofold, right? So one is I do have, and I have had a beauty group in my on Facebook for the last 3 years. And so I'll just continue doing what I'm doing there, and just providing value education, but what to the clients that are there. And so I'm providing value. So like, for example, this week we're talking about the hooded eye. So how do you deal with the hooded eye? So a lot of value that I'm trying to provide, and just like more like a social distraction that way. Also pivoting more towards educational stuff. So planning to do, so I used to do, I would do in-person workshops, like makeup workshops with a very limited amount of women, very, very intimate, like 2 to 3 hours, but usually about 3 hours. And it'd be like maximum of 4. And then we would go over, learning applications and makeup, and me really simplifying all what seems overwhelming to more simplified, distilled version of what you can take away. And that was very intimate because, you want that hands-on. You want me to show you where to do it. And it's when somebody touches your face, it's a very intimate. Only certain people are allowed to touch your face, right? You only will allow a certain handful of people. So that's a very intimate right. setting that we have there. And so pivoting towards doing it more online. So figuring out how to do that, what best to do it. Is a Zoom call enough? Is this okay? Because I still want to create that intimate setting. But yeah, so I'm figuring out how to do that, and what to charge, right? What do I charge right now for that? Or do I keep it for free? I don't know, like it's, so those are the things, because I mean, beauty isn't necessarily on everyone's like top survival list, but at the same time, it's such an important part of getting ready. I really feel like when I have gone and I have worked with a few clients who are just feeling completely bummed, and I'm like, you know, just put on the lipstick. Just put on the lipstick, right? A little bit. It doesn't need to be the full shebang. I don't even feel like doing it all the time. And so the pivot has been towards creating more like educational classes, like Zoom calls, which is I'd planned something for tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. More specific targeting, offering makeup workshops, how to prepare for Zoom meetings, right? Because we're all like online, and when somebody flashes their face right on their screen, that's a big face that you see. Somebody, right?
True.
So
it is true. And we weren't doing that before, right?
No,
we weren't having these Zoom meetings before.
No.
And now this is different. And this is the way that we are being social, is through Zoom.
Yes.
So
through Zoom.
You're there on video, so you got to look good.
Yeah.
And when you say about when you speak about beauty not being at the top of somebody's, you know, it's not a survival thing, which is true, but it just is something that raises your confidence and makes you feel so good, and Absolutely. It really sets the tone for the rest of your day. And even for the way that you are going to operate your business as well. Absolutely.
It's putting your best face forward. I really feel that
it is.
Beauty and makeup has, as soon as it's, when if you take a step back, to me, the way I look at makeup is, it's a way of personal pride and self-care. In that way, it's the 10 minutes, including the skincare part. The way you put makeup on, it doesn't even need to be, all pro and professional or whatever. It's the 10 minutes or the 5 minutes that you give yourself in front of the mirror, and this is the perfect time to, like I say, pick up a brush, which I use right here. And sometimes I encourage even like a mindset type of thing, which is, instead of saying, God, I have this, age spots or whatever, taking the makeup brush and going, thank you very much for that, right? And then, highlighting and for me, beauty isn't about hiding your flaws. It's about accentuating your beauty. And we see your beauty, people see your beauty, and makeup is a tool for everybody to sometimes. Makeup is a tool for you to see that, or the client to see that, and it does not need to be complicated. So that's sort of my mission, my goal, and this is why I specifically tend to work with women who are 40 plus and fabulous, because they're in a time of transition. They've done all the Sephoras and the clubbing makeup and all that stuff, and they just want it easy, accessible, and now your skin is changing, and how do you work with that? And so that's where I'm at with. That's where I fall in, which is not typical. Most people want to do weddings because those are easy, actually. Because there's a formula to that. Here, I very much want to work with women who one-on-one. And so the other pivot point in my business has been offering one-on-ones, actually through Zoom, through Messenger, through some kind of video call, and doing like intimate settings like this even. Changing up your makeup routine and making sure that it works for you right now.
Right. Well, this is a great time to take advantage of that as well, because most people are having extra time right now, so you can play around with your makeup and try out some new things and see see what you want to do. This is also a time for us to be present
Yeah.
and to look at our habits, our daily habits that we have, and our daily routines and things like that, and decide if we want, where we want to make changes. It's what I find is initially with the fear and the first few days, it was a lot of fear. Then it was March break, I guess, for people with kids. So everything was kind of out of routine a bit. But after that, and then of course the schools were still closed another 2 weeks, and then other things started being closed. So now we're into, this is a kind of a new way of being right now.
Yeah.
Where we are all self-isolating and practicing the social distancing and things like that, and nothing is reopening right now. So this is a time to, set a routine and get up, the same time every morning, do your hair, do your makeup. It just makes you feel good about yourself, and it sets the tone for the day. And it doesn't have to be a set routine, but I think it's important to get up on a regular basis, like the same time each day, if you are and like you say about pivoting, for any of the people that have had brick and mortar stores that have had to close, where they cannot serve their clients, that's especially people like hair salons, nail salons, massage therapists. Those people are also going to have a lineup at the door when they can reopen, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because we're all needing those services. So what would you say they should be doing as well right now to serve their clients during this period of time until they can reopen?
The brick and mortar?
Yes. I think it's pretty similar to your idea with the education.
So I've had it. So I know a nail salon tech. I mean, I've seen a lot of like personal trainers doing like content online, which has been fantastic. I know a personal trainer who this year, in the last 6 months, opened up his own thing, and he closed it up, and it was his dream to have his own gym.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's done. So I'm like, you gotta, I said, I will do stuff with you. I'll even pay you or whatever. If you, I'd love to do some more, exercise things with you, even online or whatever. I mean, we can figure it out. I think the time right now is of creativity, right? I think if you're talking about how to pivot, if you've always been in a routine, right? You've always done the same thing. And isn't it funny that even a month ago, many of us were like, I just need more time, right? And here's the gift. Here's your time, right? And not that, we're all supposed to be super productive. I think it's also a time of reflection and a time of creativity, which in a time of busyness, you don't have. You don't do.
Exactly, for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
This is giving you the time to reflect and think about things, and also that whole to-do list in your business, in terms of what you've wanted to do but you said you never had time for. Now you have time. Plus there's all kinds of online resources being offered for free, webinars and classes and things like that. And we do have the technology, so anything you want to learn, you can go and learn. And it doesn't even have to be business related. It could be something that you're just interested in.
No, I started to learn to code because it's something that I've always been interested in. And my husband speaks in 12 languages of coding, and I'm like, and it's all splitting lines to me. He's a computer engineer, so I was like, I'm just gonna learn to code, because I've always been frustrated by trying to get somebody else to do my personal website for me. Actually, the funny thing I've discovered is that, I had the to-do list of things to do for the business. And now that I have the time, the funny thing is I still don't want to do them. It's not that I didn't have the time. I actually didn't want to do them.
Right, right. So now
So,
yeah.
so now it's like it's facing me. I'm like, well, I actually didn't really want it. It's not that I didn't have the time. I actually didn't want to do it. So now what I'm gonna now I'm trying to figure out how am I dealing with myself, the fact that I actually didn't. So do I get somebody else to do it for me? Like, anyway, that was an interesting realization of like, oh, I have all the time, and now
Yeah,
what?
so yeah, so that wasn't the issue after all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I think I have some of the same things on my list that I haven't haven't started. So yeah, probably I don't want to do them either. There's some things that just don't interest you.
Yeah,
But I know for myself, my um like the education is fine, personal trainer fine, you can do those exercises and things like that. I think the biggest problem, at least in my opinion, is the in terms of
yeah,
hair cutting is one thing, but it's coloring that's my issue. At least that will be my concern in about a week.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So again, my hair stylist has taken to Instagram and has again started taking her dolls, like her Instagram,
The
like her
heads,
dolls and the heads,
the
and going,
heads,
okay,
yeah.
this is how you will do it. This is how you'll take, it's okay. We can fix the
Fix it after.
peroxide or whatever it is later. Do what you need to do. And she's actually said, maybe this is a time that you might want to try, like, at one point she said, maybe you want to try blue hair. Like, I don't think
It
so,
is,
but
well,
okay.
it
Anyway,
is
so she's
time.
taken to
It is
online.
time to change.
It is
If you
time
want
to
to
change.
change, right?
If
If you
you
want
want
to
to
change,
change. Yeah. So, yeah.
that's
So, I
true.
mean, yeah. So,
This
I
is
mean,
the
she's
time.
to
Just
change. And so,
and yeah,
nobody's gonna no, I don't think anybody's gonna think funny anything. We had a kind of like a like a messenger chat with her, and she says, I don't think anybody's gonna think of you weird if you're all of a sudden, if you come up with pink hair. Just be like, it's Corona. It's a great conversation piece too. So I don't know,
true.
I think I'm open to the creativity of and the possibility of what can be, right? And not looking at it as the first 2 weeks were complete, oh, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
I can't think of what will be in 3 months from now because my body just shuts down. I can only really think of like
it.
April right now. That's about it. That's as far as I've gotten.
Yes,
And but I think creativity will blossom and bloom. And as we said, that we're supposed to be in the RVing across North America, and the one thing that attracted me to RVers is their attitude. And RVers who full time are super creative and super out of the box thinkers. Especially who are, as a lot of RVers, especially in the US, who are not retired. I'm certainly not retired. We're still working. So how do we make that work, right? So we've already been in this mindset of creativity and making things, thinking outside the box. And so I
right.
think this is an opportunity also for people to think outside the box and try stuff.
For
Really.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time to experiment and try different things because you have the time, and what's the worst thing that could happen? It doesn't work and you have to try something different.
You just,
But
like you said, you pivot again.
but if you
Right?
never try, then what are you going to do there? And for the people who are sitting, like I say, who have closed their brick and mortar stores, I know
Yeah.
some people with a clothing store as well. They're doing Instagram lives showing the different pieces and offering a curbside pickup or the delivery or something like that, and just pivoting to online
Yeah. I have,
because
you have a friend of
people
mine who has a brick and mortar store down at Boa Boutique down on the beaches, who's had it for like years. And they're doing online auctions. They're like, give me a price.
Auctions, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
online auctions. Let's say certain days they're like, okay, so this is the auction. The starting price is $20. Okay, and people are bidding, right? And people are getting engaged and in that way. So, it's time of creativity. I think it's a really big time of creativity. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's definitely hard. Brick and mortar. I can't even imagine how that's looking. But I mean,
Right.
power to them, because they're making it work the best they possibly can.
Exactly, right. And that's better than just sitting at home and feeling sorry for yourself and feeling like a victim, because there's nothing that can be done. There's nothing you can do, and that's not going to serve anything. You want to keep serving your clients during this period of time, so that because your clients will remember who helped them out, who served them during this period of time. And like I say, the demand is going to be there after.
Oh yeah, it's not
there's
how
going to be demand after.
Yeah, I think if people will, like a personal reflection is, people will always remember not necessarily the service, but how you made them feel right now. And so especially right now, how am I being to my clients, and how am I serving them, and how am I helping them, and how am I making them feel? And that's a constant reflection. Am I being helpful, right? Am I providing maybe a service, a distraction? Am I asking something in return? Keeping in mind that I still need to make some money in some way. But yeah, hopefully I will, by the end of this, people will think about how I made them feel, and how they felt that I still showed up, right? Like I still was there, even though I wasn't necessarily, I mean, I still say to whoever it is, I would do a post or an email or whatever and say, yeah, today isn't a great day. Today I don't feel like doing absolutely anything. And I think it's also important to acknowledge those days and be okay in those days.
Sure.
Like be in those days, because going just back to our RV, when we got everything set up and everything was like run before they closed the borders, which is a sentence I never thought I would ever say in my life. The next day was like, okay, so now what? What do I do? So that was the day where I had my, today I'm not okay, but tomorrow is going to be better.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And we're allowed to have those days. This is a time you need to be kind to yourself and not judge yourself, not judge your feelings, and just be kind to yourself. If you need a day like that where you stay, in your pajamas and watch Netflix all day, then, take that day. Just don't stay there.
Yeah, don't stay there.
Don't stay there, because that's not going to serve anybody.
No, don't stay there. Just acknowledge the fact that I think that this is how you are feeling, and just say it out loud. Just name it. I think just name that this is how I feel today. This is what I'll do today, and just name how you feel and just recognize it. And then come to it from a space of creativity, which I'm not sure we can always do all the time. So that's how I'm, maybe it's easier for me because I'm creative all the time.
Yes. And myself as well. I'm the same way, but some people are, that are not creative. Sometimes maybe picking up a coloring book, one of those adult coloring books, and doing that. You can print out pages from the internet and just do some coloring. And then that brings out your creativity. Sometimes doing something that you love, something looking back to your childhood too. What did you love doing as a kid?
Yes.
And then doing that. Play always brings out creativity. So does nature, right? Nature as well. Going for a walk in nature sometimes really it allows your mind to think more creatively.
Yes, the exercise is definitely. So one thing that I didn't do before, but I'm doing now is I'm doing 30 minutes of like some kind of video exercise every day. And I find that when I don't do it, and I do it, I have actually found finally what people have always said, and we all know, exercise makes it better. My exercise is definitely for your mental health. And I'm like, I know when I don't do it, I'm like, I feel sluggish and I didn't really, I guess before all of this, I didn't pay attention as much to that, but for whatever reason, that 30 minutes right now is a savior. I need
right.
it.
Yeah. I think that's very important, especially now that people are getting some sort of movement in there. And like you say, there's all kinds of offerings online for the people who had to close their brick and mortar stores, and yoga studios,
Pilates,
gyms,
yoga,
Pilates.
even my my cousin in Poland right now is offering who does yoga, and they do something musica yoga, and so he's a composer, and so he does the music live while she does the yoga. And so they're doing yoga online. And so it's really cool. She speaks in English, so she's done a bunch of things. So it's really, really neat what they're creating. Yeah,
that is very cool. I think there's a lot of creative, interesting things that are coming out of this. And as I was talking to somebody, or it was on a webinar last week, we're going to see some creativity coming. This is when innovation happens, right? And this is when you're going to see some creative things coming out of this that are going to create billionaires or millionaires in the future. Because this is the time that new things like this come out of it. So so that's it's great talking to you about all this. Great to get your perspective on the pivoting, because this will definitely help some people out there that have the brick and mortar stores or people that service clients in person, and what they can do to pivot. Thank you so much for like I say, for your time, and it was great talking to you. And we'll have to get through this. We'll get through this together, and I guess you will be RVing at some point.
At some point, I will be. It's all right. It just might be, I don't know. It might just be the Yukon, which I've always wanted to do anyway, and not the U.S., which is fine with me. The Yukon is beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
So it's
okay.
all good. It's all good, and we'll get some weddings and some other things and photo shoots going later on, and that's all right. It'll all work out. It'll all work out.
It will all work out, and there's no point in worrying, as you were saying, worrying about the future, and it doesn't or how long this is going to last. It's not going to serve you at all, and all it does is you feel it in your body, and it actually affects your immune system negatively. So you don't want to be doing that. We take it day by day, and don't judge yourself. That's the thing too. Don't judge yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone else. So thank you. And
thank you.
Yeah, I guess I will put your information underneath this interview when I put it up, including your group that you run. And again, thank you for your time, Agata, and I will see everybody later. Bye for now.